For my personal experience speech, I chose to write about a vacation I took last summer. My mother had been planning it out for quite a while, and it was a very fun and exciting trip. My mother, my brother Alex, my girlfriend Kylie, and I were all the ones that went on the trip. We managed to fit all four of us and our luggage in my mom's car, and we were off. We left around 10 in the morning, and that morning before leaving was extremely rushed. Everyone was rushing around trying to get the last of their stuff packed and make sure we had everything we needed for the 2 week long journey. Trying to find ways to fit everybody's luggage in the car with room to still sit down was one of the hardest parts in the morning. 2 weeks worth of luggage isn't exactly a small amount to pack. After many forceful pushes and thoughtful placements of luggage, we finally got everything packed and everyone in the car. We were then off to Tennessee. The destination was Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's about a 13-hour drive, but it's 100% worth it. It's definitely a tourist trap, and a lot of the stuff is expensive, but if you can handle the expense, then it's worth it all the way. The drive isn't too bad either. For me, it mostly consisted of annoying my brother, sleeping, and watching Netflix with my girlfriend on her phone. As long as you can stay occupied, the drive seems to fly by. Once you're there, you'll see crazy buildings and really cool places to stop at. There's a building I remember vividly. It was what looked like a small skyscraper, and it had Godzilla at the top of it, pounding his chest, just like in the game I used to play as a child. We could see that building outside our hotel window every night as we were in the top floor, and since we were up in the mountains, our hotel was on the side of a huge hill. The view outside of our hotel was stunning. There were mountains all around us. In the mornings, you could see all the clouds rolling through them, and at night, you could see all the lights in the city below us. It was a wonderful place to stay. We did many things during our stay in Pigeon Forge. We went on a roller coaster type ride called the Smoky Mountain Alpine Coaster. I am not a fan of roller coaster rides. I've seen some of the people's welds in those, and I don't enjoy putting my life in their hands. So this is definitely out of my comfort zone. However, to my surprise, the ride was absolutely amazing, and I would do it all over again given the chance. If I remember right, and I could be wrong, but I think the ride is about 4 minutes long, 3 minutes up and 1 minute down. For the first 3 minutes, you're slowly working your way up a huge hillside, and the whole point of the first 3 minutes is to submerge you in the beauty that is the Smoky Mountains. It takes you on this super scenic route up this hill, so when you got to the top, you've almost completely forgotten that you're on a roller coaster ride. Once you get to the top, there's a man sitting next to the tracks, and he basically tells you to get ready, because it's about to get fast. Once you start the descent down the hill, it instantly feels like you're going a million miles an hour. It is one of the most exhilarating things I've done in quite some time. After everyone's nerves settled, once the ride stopped, and we started heading back, we noticed this Western clothing store with a sign out front that said buy one pair of boots, get two free. And since the only footwear I wear is cowboy boots, I figured it would be a good place to stop by so I could stock up on boots since cowboy boots are rather expensive. They only really sold one brand of boot, so there wasn't much of a variety of looks to choose from. I still ended up finding 2 pairs of boots and 1 pair for my girlfriend, so it didn't end up working out good anyway. Another thing we did during our stay down south was visit the Sky Bridge in Gatlinburg. This was probably one of the most scenic things I've ever seen. The Sky Bridge in Gatlinburg, Tennessee is the world's longest pedestrian suspension bridge ever built. It's a whopping 680 feet across, which is just shy of 2.5 football fields, and you can definitely tell when you walk across it. The view is spectacular. It's almost as if the mountains were a bowl and you were a tiny grain of sand in this giant bowl. The city below you just looks like a colony of ants, and the whole thing makes you forget that the only thing keeping you from falling to your death is just wood and metal wire. One of the last big eventful things we did in Tennessee was go hiking. This was probably one of my favorite things we did on the trip, because one of my favorite things to do at home is roam around the woods. So it was like being able to do something familiar in an unfamiliar place. The hike was very long and it was pouring on us the whole way. We weren't planning on rain, so we didn't pack any extra umbrellas. I thought the rain made it more fun, but everybody else didn't think so. The goal of the hike was to reach the swimming hole a couple miles up the mountain. The swimming hole was another reason as to why this was one of my favorite things to do on the trip, because when I'm home, I'm always trying to keep an eye out for new swimming holes. I always find more unconventional swimming spots to be more fun. After we walked a couple miles up the mountain, we reached our destination. It was this absolutely beautiful swimming hole right below this kind of small waterfall. The trail continued up, but we were ready to stop and take a break anyway. There were already some people there, but it didn't matter. The rain stopped just before we reached the hole, so it was perfect. The sun was out after the rain, and it just made the whole thing that much more scenic. We got into our trunks and got down to the creek, and as soon as I put my foot in the water, I realized something we hadn't been planning on. While the rain had made some beautiful scenery after it ended, it also made the river extremely cold, as all that cold rainwater just drained down the side of the mountain and into the river. So as a result, we could only go about knee deep, but it was all worth it. Thanks for listening.